EMS. Even police, they need police, fire, EMS. What's that?
At first, it sounds like the person calling 911 really needs urgent help. But actually, the woman on the call is the main suspect in the death of 16-month-old Kristel Candelario. On June 16, 2023, 31-year-old Kristel Candelario returned from a 10-day vacation and found her 1-year-old in a terrible condition. As investigators looked into the case, the details revealed were shocking and heartbreaking. Neighbors and law enforcement were deeply distressed by the level of injustice done to innocent baby Jailyn. What made the situation even worse was that during those 10 days, baby Jailyn was left without food or water. Her complete disregard for her child's well-being will result in severe consequences. Welcome to our channel. Please hit the subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified once we drop a new video.
In my 17-year career as a Cleveland police officer, this by far is the most horrific case I've ever had to investigate, now I've been a detective.
Kristel Candelario was a single mother of 2 children born on September 11, 1991. She moved to the U.S. from Ecuador in 2016 and she resided in Cleveland, Ohio. With her bachelor's degree in education, it was easy for her to become a substitute teacher when she arrived in the U.S. Nothing about her seemed unusual, except that she had a habit of leaving her kids with neighbors and staying away for long periods, sometimes for weeks. In 2021, Kristel met a man named Henry Garcia, who was living in Ecuador at the time. She started a relationship with him online, and after chatting for a while, they met in person. They moved together to the Dominican Republic, and by the time Kristel returned to Ohio, she was already pregnant with baby Jailyn.
They say they took Jaylin in many times when Candelario went to work, even describing her as one of their own. According to these neighbors, Candelario left Jaylin often.
It wasn't really her mom that was taking care of her, it was her grandma that was mostly taking care of her. Her mom always wanted to go out and just left her with her grandma and all that.
Kristel enjoyed traveling without baby Jailyn. Whenever she went on a trip, she regularly posted photos on social media, showing her time around the world with friends, all while leaving baby Jailyn alone. At the end of the 2023 school year, Kristel planned a vacation to relax from work over the summer, but her plans did not include her children. Kristel planned to go on a trip to Puerto Rico with her boyfriend from June 8th to June 11th. However, surveillance cameras showed her leaving the house as early as June 6th. Kristel's social media posts showed that she had a great time on her vacation, spending time on the beaches of Puerto Rico and enjoying the pleasant weather. One of her pictures showed her at a Puerto Rican beach with the caption, "Time enjoyed is the true time to live." Her vacation officially ended in Puerto Rico on June 11th. When Kristel got back to the U.S., she didn't go straight home. She spent a few days in Detroit and returned to Ohio on June 16th. When Kristel finally got home at 7:30 a.m. on June 16th, she found 1-year-old baby Jailyn alone in her playpen. Baby Jailyn was unresponsive and her eyes sunken. When the police and ambulance team arrived, they were shocked by the terrible state baby Jailyn was in. Her playpen was stained with urine and feces, and a soiled blanket was nearby. She was severely dehydrated and was eventually pronounced dead. The police went into action immediately and brought Kristel in for questioning.
I remember right now when you mentioned the vomiting. She did a vomiting the last week, Monday and Tuesday, 2 times. But I was trying controlling because I know I give to her Tylenol or something, for controlling the vomiting.
Okay. Come on, this is my supervisor, Sergeant Gomez.
And Jailyn too, I give to her when she got a diarrhea or vomiting.
Less than 2 hours after the 911 call, Kristel appeared calm and composed during her police interrogation. which left the officers puzzled and confused. They could not understand why a mother who just lost her child in such a tragic situation would remain so calm while describing her daughter's ordeal.
I say, oh my God.
This is after last Monday and Tuesday when she was throwing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you talking about Monday and Tuesday like 4 days ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
last week, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because we almost done this week, so I talk about,
Because what, this week?
This week, I talk about because we almost done, the.
Oh, we're almost done with this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the time the police gathered more details about the whole situation, Kristel Candelario was brought in for a more thorough and detailed investigation. During this second investigation, authorities discovered that Kristel had indeed left her 1-year-old daughter Jaylyn alone for days while she had fun with friends.
Why would you go work Uber in Detroit, Michigan, instead of doing it here in Cleveland, where your daughter is?
Yo también trabajaba aquí en Uber, aquí en Cleveland.
Okay, but why go over there, not do it here? Why not do it here? Your daughter is here.
Porque me iba a ver amistades también en Michigan, entonces
She was working some
aproveché.
friends over there in Michigan, so she took advantage of the fact that she was over there to visit people, she worked over there.
Pero no era siempre que lo hacía.
But not always. That's not, she didn't do that always.
Don't take this the wrong way. At what point did you think that it would make sense to leave her here on the show?
No toma esto de la manera mal, pero ¿en qué momento tú pensaste que está bien
Por pasear, to travel, por pasear,
Why not travel with you?
¿Por qué no llevaste a Jaylin contigo?
porque yo pensaba regresar el viernes y ya quedarme con ella, o sea, era algo rápido, eventual, que no.
She said that because she had planned on returning on Friday and spending time with them, so
Porque no me iba a quedar en la casa de nadie.
she wasn't going to stay in anybody's house.
But why not take with you if you know, you already knew that she had a condition going on at the time?
Si tú sabías que ella tenía una condición y estaba enfermita,
She needed
¿por qué no llevarla contigo?
Porque por eso mismo, por yo pasear,
By the time the police finished their investigation, there was overwhelming evidence against Kristel Candelario. This evidence proved that she knowingly and willingly left her 1-year-old in a 2-by-3-foot playpen without food or water for 10 days. Medical findings on the case estimated that Jailyn probably passed away between June 9th and the 13th due to severe dehydration and starvation. As a result, Kristel was arrested on June 18th and charged with aggravated murder, felonious assault, and 1 count of child endangerment. Her bond was set at $1 million, and with only a few days to her trial, Kristel agreed to a plea deal. She agreed to plead guilty to aggravated murder and 1 count of child endangerment, so that the other charges against her will be dropped. Her sentencing was scheduled for March 18th, 2024.
Your Honor. Your Honor, thank you for allowing me to be the voice for Jaylin Candelario, a beautiful angel whose life was cut short for no good reason. This tragedy should have never happened. I am Sergeant Gomez from the Homicide Unit. The entire Homicide Unit, Cleveland Homicide Initiative, and our partners from the FBI are here today in honor of baby Jaylin Candelario. When we were first notified of this horrific case, we were all heartbroken. But when we started digging deeper into the investigation, it was beyond horrific. It was revealed that the defendant, Kristel Candelario, left her own child alone for hours, which led to days, which led to weeks. This 16-month-old baby was left alone in a pack and play to fend for herself for 11 days with no food, maybe milk, the clothing she had on, and the diaper she was wearing. This baby loved her mother, she needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her. Mothers usually want their children to have a long, happy life, but Candelario placed more importance on a vacation in Puerto Rico with her boyfriend than the health safety and well-being of her own daughter. She chose to...
Kristel's lawyer tried to portray her as being in a pitiable situation, but it was a challenging task, as it was clear that Kristel had no valid excuse.
You're in that state when you're off medication, mismanaging your thoughts, you're not thinking clearly. Her body just, she had to get out, and she was having fun. If she was okay, in her mind, Jaylyn was okay. And of course that's not the case. But I will point to when she did finally get home, and we heard that 911 call, she didn't want this to happen. You could hear that. Screaming, help me, my daughter's dying. Yes, because of your actions, because of what your choices were. And you took responsibility for that, but that call, that one tiny breach from whatever was going on in her head, that reality.
Her attorney tried to salvage the situation by saying that Kristel's mental health might have influenced her actions. However, this argument was quickly dismissed when it was clear that she engaged in numerous calm and organized activities while Jaylyn was suffering. It was reported that Kristel even discussed God and forgiveness with her mother during the time she was committing the horrific crime against her own daughter.
Was depressed. And no one more than I appreciate mental health and mental health issues and the programs that this court and my office have tried to implement to help folks with mental health. This is not the case here. This is not the case at all. Her actions speak louder than words. She had the wherewithal to leave Cuyahoga County and drive to Detroit, to be not with one man, but with two, let alone leaving a child, her own flesh and blood, in a pack and play. And during the time that she has been locked up, she has been making plans for the future, talking to other folks at other jails, other prisons. She had a conversation, which I find more disturbing than not, but on November 26, 2023, instead of wrought with emotion, wrought with guilt, crying about the death of her child, she's talking with a friend about her trip to Puerto Rico and what a blast it was and how much the car cost, and they got a truck versus a car even though it was more expensive.
Kristel said she was sorry when given the chance to speak briefly before her sentencing. However, this did not change the fact that Jaylyn had already suffered and died due to avoidable neglect from a mother now facing the consequences of her actions. Kristel claimed she had received forgiveness from God and her daughter.
Persona creyente de Dios.
I'm a person who believes in God.
Y reconozco hoy que todos y todas, muchas ocasiones, somos tentados por el enemigo.
And I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Dios y mi hija.
Her words didn't do much to help her sentencing, as Kristel eventually received a life sentence for her crimes against baby Jaylyn.
I have to remember Jaylyn, where you did not. Just as you didn't let Jaylyn out of her confinement until she died, so too, you should spend the rest of your life in a cell without freedom. The only difference will be that prison will at least feed you and give you liquids that you denied her. Based on all these factors, based on all the things I've looked at, and I'm marking this as State's Exhibit 1 for the court order. On count 1, aggravated murder.
Kristel Candelario's sentence took effect immediately. While it couldn't bring back her daughter's life, it ensured that her betrayal did not go unnoticed. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Bye, and see you in the next video.